Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube. It has been a while, and honestly, when I first started a YouTube, it didn't go anywhere. I probably had like 13 subscribers. I don't even know. But when I started it, it was because I really wanted to vlog Disney trips. And we had a bunch planned. Our son's first Disney trip was planned. This was 2021. Like, we got this camera in 2021. That's how long it's been since I've picked this up. So I filmed in 2021 when we went for the first time with our son, and then I never picked it up again. I have since become a travel agent with Disney, and I've decided that I need to have more resources for my clients when they are traveling to Disney. So I post a lot of things on Instagram that are like tips and tricks and advice and stuff like that. But I felt like I needed somewhere else that I could direct my clients for, resources for their trip that's coming up, because it takes a lot of research and questioning and planning and all of that to make your Disney trip fabulous and magical. And, I am a resource to my clients, but I wanted somewhere that if they asked me about Lightning Lane, I could be like, refer to this video or something like that. So I am starting this back up in hopes that I stay consistent and I make it a place people can go to find information about their trip. That for my clients and for others. It doesn't matter who watches this, obviously. Anybody can watch these, but I wanted somewhere that I could direct people. It's never the right time. I kept telling my husband, Jake, that I wanted to do this. I really want to commit to doing YouTube videos as a resource. So I'm here. I could have waited until, he was like, you need an office space to be able to do it. And I'm like, well, we don't really have time to make myself an office space. So I have found a corner in our house that I can, just talk to you and tell you what's on my mind about Disney and what I want to focus on each week. I'm going to try and post each week something that could help people on their trip to Disney and help them plan. As a little intro, I thought I would give everybody a little background story on who I am and why I decided to be a travel agent for Disney. My Disney story did not start as a child. I mean, we went to Disney twice when I was little. We went once when I was 5 as just a normal Disney trip. And then we went when I was 10 on a cruise called the Big Red Boat that I don't think even exists anymore. It was not Disney affiliated, but we made it a Disney trip also. So we did a few days in Disney. We went on that cruise the year Animal Kingdom opened, and I remember being on the Big Red Boat, and it was the inaugural sailing of the Disney Cruise Line, like the very first ship that ever came out. And we got to the port and our ship was so tiny compared to the Disney Cruise Line ship. Like I said, my Disney story didn't really start until I was an adult. So when I was 21, we were taking like a family trip, me, my parents, my sister, my brother-in-law. We went to Disney World as adults, no kids, and it was so much fun. We had such a great time. Then my sister had a little boy. My nephew was almost 2, I believe, and we decided to go back, which was 2015, which is the same year I met my husband. He graduated school. He graduated his trade school the next spring, and we decided to take a Disney trip, just us, as a celebration. So that's what we did. We went down, just the 2 of us. We got in late at night, and then the next morning we were like, we'll sleep in, and we were both up at like 6 a.m. because we were so excited. So we went that day, park open to park close, which we have a hard time doing anymore because our life is a little bit different. But I will never ever forget that day. I know that trip and that day were like when we as a couple fell in love with Disney, and it became like our happy place. I know that sounds very cliche and annoying, but it is our happy place. For Christmas that year, Jake surprised me with a trip to Disney for the next December, because I said I wanted to go for Christmas. So he surprised me and said he had this trip planned, you know, whatever. So we went the next November, and he proposed in front of Cinderella's castle. So that was the beginning of the end for us as Disney lovers. The next day after we got engaged, Jake went with my brother-in-law to visit a friend that lived elsewhere in Florida, and I was with my sister and my parents and my niece and nephew, and we were on the phone already with Disney Weddings, getting information on how we could plan our Disney wedding. We got married the next December at the Wedding Pavilion at the Grand Floridian. We had our reception in Epcot at, we had fireworks on the rotunda, or fireworks on the terrace in Italy. And then we had our reception in the American Adventure Rotunda. A bunch of trips after that before we had our son and after we had our son. So we have been to Disney in all different phases of life. We know kind of how to do Disney in all phases of life without kids, you know, as a couple, as a big group, with kids with a big group. You know, we've kind of done most of the ways that you can do Disney. When I became a travel agent, it was because I had people constantly coming to me, which I loved, by the way, constantly coming to me, asking me for advice on their Disney trip. So for the first year or two, I seriously only booked our trips and my family's trips. And then I was like, you know, why don't I venture out more? So it gave me the opportunity then to actually book for them. So I could book their vacations. I could call Disney on their behalf. I could, you know, do all the things that they needed me to do without having to be right there with them, because, you know, their reservation was in my hands at that point. I ventured into that, and, I've expanded in the last year or two, and I decided that, like I said, YouTube would be a great resource for clients that are traveling to Disney. That's why I'm here. And this is going to absolutely not be anything fancy. I can guarantee you that 9 out of 10 times you're going to get me in this video in a sweatshirt and sweatpants. We're very, very busy. My son is in preschool, and I have about 2.5 hours every 3 days a week, not even every morning, 3 days a week, that I can maybe film something in some quiet. We have never been to Disneyland, so this is going to focus really on Walt Disney World and what you can do there. Just, I hope that you don't expect this to be very fancy. This is what you're going to get. Maybe it'll evolve into something else. I don't know. I am very, very comfortable with Instagram and posting on there and editing videos for that. I did really, really enjoy editing the YouTube videos that I made, 4 years ago. So I think I'll have fun with this. If you guys have anything specific that you'd like to see, that you have questions about, feel free to comment. I would love to get everyone's opinions on what is the most important thing for them when they're planning a Disney trip. Or if you're new going to Disney, what is the most important thing that you're focusing on when it comes to planning? I would love to dive into things that people have questions about and help you in any way I can. I found a bunch of old videos on the camera when I opened it back up after closing it up for 4 years. So I guess I'll post some random videos from our trips in the past for you guys to enjoy at the end of this video. Thanks for coming along. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all so much. And I hope we can have fun with this together. All right, guys. Cheers. Bye.
Oh.
Ready, babe?
What?
What's your first snack?
Chauffeur Hoffer.
Well, that's all the way. We're not gonna get anything over here.
What are you talking about? Germany's 3 over.
Okay.
And we came in the backside, so it's not like we can start at the beginning of the countries. You should let him hold it and see what happens.
Yeah, right.
Princess, but this
My
is a sweet
favorite
stroller.
princess, Aurora.
Okay, say bye.